Two things. First of all, you're going to see a real full court press by White House officials. So a lot of availability and a lot of sound in support, not just of the judge, but also in support of those who may be on the fence in the Senate. But I think the second thing is really important as well. You're going to see a bit of a reliance on this FBI report, again, to bolster the argument that a man who has served honorably on the bench for more than 2 decades should not have this allegation, an uncorroborated allegation, keep him from serving on the U.S. Supreme Court. Let me take you to Twitter. The president is talking about it once again this morning. He said this: the harsh and unfair treatment of Judge Brett Kavanaugh is having an incredible, an incredible upward impact on voters. The people get it far better than most politicians. Most importantly, this great life cannot be ruined by mean and despicable Democrats and totally uncorroborated allegations. There, you see it right there. Now, to be sure, there is a political aspect to this confirmation battle, but I think more crucially, the argument over the next couple of days, Bill, will be about the content of that report and the fairness of the process, which has included, as you know, a bevy of late allegations and questions about Judge Kavanaugh's fitness.
All these types of questions get thoroughly investigated throughout one's career. He's been entrusted with some of the most important jobs in government over the last 25 years, with a very high-profile career. And all the folks that are demanding this type of an investigation in the Senate are Democrats who've already pledged to vote no. They don't want additional information to make a decision. They want to delay this process.
Obviously, that is Raj Shah. We anticipate getting more sound with him. We actually grabbed him on his way after that interview. So as I get more sound, I'll be sure to pass that along. By the way, we can always tell you this. The president got the report. Actually, the White House got the report after 3 a.m. this morning. We do know the president has been briefed on it, Bill, although we don't believe he's actually read it himself yet.
Okay, we've heard the Bureau reached out to 10 individuals, interviewed 9 of them. Dr. Christine Blasey Ford was not among them. Her team's not happy about that. Chuck Grassley would say you should have shared your notes with us and not the Washington Post. What is the White House? How is the White House characterizing that, Kevin?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. From their perspective, Dr. Ford has already been effectively interviewed for the entire world to see under oath on Capitol Hill. And so given that, it's important, they say, to allow the FBI to sort of unpack other allegations that have been out there. The Bureau could have chosen to interview her. They did not, about which her lawyers said this: an FBI supplemental background investigation that did not include an interview of Dr. Christine Blasey Ford nor witnesses who corroborate her testimony cannot be called an investigation. We are profoundly disappointed that after the tremendous sacrifice she made in coming forward, those directing the FBI investigation were not interested in seeking the truth. It is expected, Bill, that the president will get an opportunity to take a look at that report firsthand here this morning. Of course, as we learn more about it, we'll be sure to pass it along. But for now, back to you.